Alright. Well, all that was lost. I recorded a whole bunch of stuff and I didn't convert or copy over to my computer. I had to wipe the disk. Let's try again. I shouldn't let my memory card get too full. What I have here is right about half of the bamboo that I have now. Some of this has been dried, some of it has not. You can see this. You can notice the color is one much darker. Yeah. And there's still quite a bit of color left in. Although these have been left out for about 6-7 weeks now since I cut them. The problem is we've been having a lot of rain. A lot of rain. And the location that I have is not suitable for storing and drying the bamboo, so I have to come up with another solution. But I got these ones mostly dry for now. I'm going to start just showing how I do that. This should be fun. We have this piece here. And you notice the problem with leaving this out and letting it get damp and stay damp is you see all this little bit of fungus and mold growing on it. And not only that, it grows down into the fibers, right? And this is a major problem. If I don't fix this now, this will ruin the entire batch. So I don't have the luxury of waiting for the time for it to air dry properly over months or weeks and weeks at least. So I'm going to use heat. What I've done is I'm just going to do this over the stove. You can use a blowtorch on this. You see videos on YouTube showing how to do that. I don't have a blowtorch at the moment, so I'm just going to use the heat from the stove. But it's kind of really fun to watch how the color changes as it dries out. Notice I keep rotating and keeping no one part on the fire for too long. I'll turn this down a little bit. Right about medium heat. And all this does is just brings out that moisture that's trapped inside underneath the skin of the bamboo. The skin itself is porous, at least until it's been completely dried and hardened. So the moisture and the water that's still in there can evaporate out. I want to be very careful not to focus on any one specific area too much. I want this to be dry uniformly all the way across, so it's very slow, very time consuming doing it this way. And you can see it's already halfway done. Just looking for that nice ash blonde look, the very pale blonde color. This one still has some chlorophyll inside, so it's still got a bit of a green tint to it. But that is okay. That will fade over time and give me a nice pale yellow that I'm looking for in the bamboo. This will not be ready to work today. Just because it's dried out on the outside does not mean it's completely dried out on the inside. But this does, heating it up slowly like this does help to release moisture. Anything that's trapped in there is going to start evaporating out, start expanding the cells, and help to suck the moisture out of the wood, of the bamboo. Not ideal. It's very easy to make it crack, and if it gets cracked, it's ruined. You can't really do much with that. Well, you can make chopsticks. And always as working it, try to pay close attention to if there are any cracks or anything forming. You can see a little bit right here. Cracks will form, especially if there's any kind of cut or something like that. Any kind of weak point in the skin of the bamboo and the structure of the bamboo will give it a crack. Another thing that happens is that as the fibers of the bamboo spread across, as the water content is evaporated out, the fibers actually shrink between in the bamboo. It actually shrinks altogether, and sometimes you can get the fibers to split across away from each other, and that's what we want to avoid as much as possible. It's inevitable there will be some cracks sometimes, and while working with wood, you see how to cut around it, or sometimes you have to fill the cracks. But once this is done, you have a very strong and durable piece of wood that you can use to work with. And here we have, this is the other bamboo that I have here. Some of it's close to getting dry. You can see the yellow pieces. The other ones are still got quite a ways to go. They're still very green. I'm not going to use a heat method of drying those ones out, not right now, because the risk of damage is too high. They're still too green, and if I use heat, the fibers of the bamboo are more likely to crack, and so I have to let those dry out in another location. Once I set something up, probably indoors for the duration of the monsoon.